So here I have my ingredients of ground beef and pork, Parmesan, garlic, and medium onion, tomato puree, my seasonings, my egg, my whole milk, and my pasta. Here I start off by measuring out a measure of 1/4 of extra virgin oil to start off. This is going to be making our base for our sauce for the pasta. I'm going to count out about 5 cloves for my garlic, and then I'm going to very thinly slice those and toss those into the extra virgin oil to simmer for about 30 seconds, and I don't want that to burn. After the 30 seconds pass, I add in my tomato puree. I use 2 cans that measure out to be about 24 ounces per can. I get those measured in there, and I add in my dash of salt for some seasoning. And in doing this, I'm going to make sure that I thoroughly stir it on a medium to low heat. Here I am mixing it, and then after mixing it for about 1 to 2 minutes, I go in with a 1/2 cup of water. And this 1/2 cup of water, we really want to be sure that we thoroughly mix it. So starting off our pasta sauce, this was the first thing we did because we want to allow this to simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes after mixing it all together. So here are my ingredients, and I'm going to leave it on to medium to low heat to simmer for about 15 again to 20 minutes. And in doing that, as it sits on the stove and simmers, I begin starting up on my base for my meatballs. I'm going to measure out about 1/2 cup of whole milk, and then I'm going to go in with about a 1/2 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. I mix those together, and then I allow those to sit for another 10 minutes. And then here I have my measurements of 1 large egg, some salt, pepper, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, and I add in a 1/3 cup of my Parmesan and grate onion and get the onion juice in there as well. I allow this to mix, and then I add that in with my Italian breadcrumbs and allow that to sit as I work on combining my meat, which is our ground pork and our ground beef. We really don't want to overwork this, especially when I go in adding in our Italian breadcrumb seasoning. So I'm mixing it and I'm turning them into little balls. Our recipe can make up to about 16 large meatballs. I went for a smaller division of meatballs, and I didn't use my entire base of meat, but I'm just rolling those out and making sure that they're pretty even in size. I did not broil them. I ended up baking my meatballs at a temp of 400 degrees for about 20 to 24 minutes. And I checked on those pretty thoroughly just to make sure that they were cooking fully throughout the entire meatball. And then on my own, I added in some Italian seasoning as well. But here they are measured out on our metal pan sheet. I had our noodles simmering. I went with the thin spaghetti and just had that sitting while our meatballs were in the oven. And then here is our final product on our sauce. And then here it is all plated together. After our meatballs came out of the oven, we have our finished spaghetti.